how much should I be practicing? I get this question all the time with my students, and it's a really important concept to talk about because, obviously, naturally we think, well, more practicing is going to, give us better results. It's going to get us where we want to be more quickly. And while overall that may be true, the truth is that, sometimes when we practice in shorter bursts, if we work an intense 5 or 10 minutes and then we go do something else and then we come back for 5 or 10 minutes, an hour or two later, in some ways that's better for our brain to process information. We tend to have concentrated attention right at the beginning of a task, and then that concentration tends to wane the more we get into it because it's hard to maintain that level of intensity all the time. And what our brain does respond to is repetition and sort of the reinforcement of certain concepts. So, for instance, if you were to practice 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes in the evening, you're giving your body and your brain 3 chances to go over this material and kind of remind you what it's supposed to feel like and so on and so forth. And again, that can be very effective. I deal with so many students who are like, I just don't have the time to practice. I've got a very busy life and I really do want to do this and I want to make progress. And, it can cause anxiety, and it can also create a situation where when we do have the opportunity to practice, if we don't have 45 minutes or an hour or 2 hours to sit down and play, feel like, well, what's the use? So the term that I use with my students all the time, everybody kind of gets to know that when they work with me, is put the instrument in your hands, and try not to worry about time quite so much. Put the instrument in your hands, engage with it, be in that moment when you have it. Even if it's, I've got 5 minutes before dinner is ready. Let me go and just run through a couple of things. And generally speaking, if you're like me, and I think a lot of guitar players feel this way, 5 minutes never stays as just 5 minutes. It always turns into 10, 15, 20 because we get engaged and, suddenly time has passed. But you're giving yourself more opportunities the more that you put it in your hands. And if you can relieve some of the anxiety that we feel about not having enough time, I think it's better. Practicing is really meant to be a healthy activity. We view it like exercise, like taking care of ourselves, like meditation. It's all of these things. And the more that we approach it that way, I think the more we get out of it.